بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا استعينوا بالصبر والصلاة إن الله مع الصابرين ولا تقولوا لمن يقتل في سبيل الله أموات بل أحياء ولكن لا تشعرون ولنبلونكم بشيء من الخوف والجوع ونقص من الأموال والأنفس والثمرات وبشر الصابرين صدق الله العظيم اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. On this face of the earth, knowingly or unknowingly, everyone is following someone. Sometimes they intentionally do, and sometimes not intentionally, but even without knowing. For example, the things people wear, how they live, sometimes they're just following the society. They don't even feel they are following someone. They think it is just norm, but where does the norm come from? What they see. The country which they were born, they will dress like that. People around which they see, they will actually dress like that. They will do things like that. They will marry, they will commemorate things, they will celebrate things, and they don't even feel they are following someone. But they are. They're following someone, the society. The society is following someone, some cultural thing, etc., etc. Also, the people follow the good people. If they see good people around them, if they are born somewhere in righteous place, they even unknowingly they end up following them. So one should be careful that each and everything one does, there is a right way and a wrong way of doing things. So now, in this month, Muslims all over the world, they commemorate the martyrdom, the mission of Sayyidina Imam Hussain radiallahu ta'ala anhu in their own way, different ways. Some people are doing something else, some people are doing something else. But obviously there is a correct way, a right way, and who can more know how to commemorate or spend these days more than the personality who is commemorated. For example, Sayyidina Imam Hussain radiallahu ta'ala anhu. If he doesn't like how I am doing, then I might be, many people are following, they claim to follow many prophets, and they're celebrating, like different celebrations come, festivals, Eids and Christmas and other things, and they celebrate in a way, they're in their own ways. Those Anbiya, those Auliyah, many urs are done, people are dancing, gossiping, people are taking drugs and all sorts of evil things happening there. Now in no way this represents the wali who they are actually celebrating his urs. Similarly, Anbiya alayhim salam. Similar is the case with Sayyidina Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu. During one of the interactions, because Morocco was actually founded, especially the kingdom which Imam Idris al-Akbar rahimahullah ta'ala found. He himself was from Ahlul Bayt, so they had a very strong link up to now with Ahlul Bayt, and they know more about Ahlul Bayt than others because they themselves were descendants of Ahlul Bayt. So during one of these interactions, spiritual interactions of these great Auliyah, someone amongst them, they asked this question to Sayyidina Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu himself, that how would you like us to spend these days? How would you like us to remember your legacy? How would you like us to commemorate this? And I think there is no one better to answer the personality himself, because they were on a mission and they knew what they were doing and they knew what other people should be doing. So Sayyidina Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu, he said, this month of Muharram has many virtues. It is called the month of Allah. The Prophet ﷺ said, after the month of Ramadan, the most significant or beloved fasts to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are of the month of Muharram. The month of Muharram's fast are after Ramadan one of the highest ranking. And do not ever forget, the fast is just a surface and a manifestation, but the philosophy or the reasoning behind is just training and disciplining so that you don't follow shaitan and nafs. So when we say fast, we think about hunger and thirst. It's not about hunger and thirst only. That's also one of the means of disciplining. But in actual fact, this is a training for how to control, purify yourself, how to even abstain from lawful things for the sake of Allah. Let aside unlawful things. So fast is such training that how to even abstain and celebrate Allah's greatness by even stopping from, you are saying to Allah, Ya Allah, look, I am even sacrificing my lawful desires, my lawful wishes for you. So that's a very highest ranking thing. That for to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you saying, I can leave everything for you. Let aside unlawful. For now, then the person who is fasting, he understands fasting is a ritual. He's fasting every day or second day. During the day, he's fighting with his wife. During the day, he's arguing with people. During the day, he's doing all sorts of other things, committing riba, being jealous, and having committed. That is a joke. How can you say that actually to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I am sacrificing lawful for you and unlawful I am committing, which you do not really like. So that is more of a joke. So really, fasting, as soon as fast comes in your mind, the Sawm comes in your mind, it is strict training that, oh Allah, I am willing to even sacrifice lawful matters. Let aside unlawful are out of question. Here am I will do. So the person who actually does that, alhamdulillah, he disciplines and he gets a higher level. Or otherwise, it is just like saying, I don't eat, for example, foods which has high proteins in it, or I don't drink milk, it has high fat in it. But during the day, the person is consuming drugs and lethal poison. What type of trading, what type of diet that is? What can be more worst joke than that? Person is saying, I am on diet, I can't drink milk because it has fat in it. I can't actually take this food, it is high in protein. I'm very conscious of my diet. I'm very conscious of my body, my health. But in the next 1 hour, the same person is consuming heroin, drugs, and worst thing is poison. He's smoking poison, he's eating poison. But whenever someone offers milk or anything, they say, no, I can't eat meat, it has too much actually this in it. I am on vegetable diet, salads I'm going to eat. But next 1 hour again, after 1 hour, he takes few sips of poison, few actually spoons of poison. That's how he spends during the day. What type of dieting, what type of exercise, and what type of health. That's what we are doing with the fast. That's what people are doing with the fast. They have no idea really. Most of them are, oh yeah, it is fast, we should fast, and they're fasting. And sin is poison. Vegetables are like salad, are like lawful thing. So lawful food a person is abstaining from, an unlawful person is communicating. People do not let go. After million fasts, they won't let go of their grudge. They keep in their mind, oh yes, this person have done this, now this is it. That clings there. Fast is actually when a person, like Prophet ﷺ said that, oh my son Anas, he was one of the companions and also one of the servants, like son to the Prophet ﷺ. He was a very young age, 10, 12, 15 years old. He said, oh my son, this is my way. What is your way, Ya Rasulullah? When you sleep every day, clear your heart from all malice, all any jealousy towards people, or grudge, or hatred, dislikeness. How long and how many times have you heard? But who is doing that? Have you really done even one night that you've got to let everything go? Or second night, there's so many nights coming day after, and the Prophet ﷺ is saying that this is my sunnah. This is amongst my sunnah. This is amongst my way. This is my way. That actually is indicating that do adopt this. And we even adopt this once a month, I think. If we will get somewhere, we will actually attain high, let aside every day. Every day, pious people, righteous people do it every day. So what does that mean? After 5 years, you have some, oh yes, you did this to me. Oh, I don't like you. You did this to me 5 months. What type of clarity of heart have that person done? This means that all that filth is still there. It should be a new heart in the morning. New heart. He doesn't remember. Auliyah Allah are very fond of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remembrance. They always remember Him. And they forget what people do to them and what people do wrong to them. They are very quick to forget them. They don't remember. If you ask them, they say, oh, we don't remember what happened 2 days ago, if it's something wrong to them. But yes, good things they will. That's how they have trained their mind. Remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, good thing, being thankful. Other thing, their memory is as though not very much working. That's why some people, they deceive them again and again, because they are simple and they are actually of that mindset. They don't keep these things in the heart. So that is fast. So month of Ramadan has gone. That is, we didn't achieve that. Now the Hijjah has gone. Still we are fasting the fast of, I cannot even say who's fast like this. Can be a shaitan's fast like that. There who says, Allah, I fear Allah, and he's doing all sorts of wrong things. In the Quran, he says, Inni akhafullah rabbal alamin. I also fear the Lord of the worlds. But what is that fear? When he is doing day and night, he's doing whatever he's doing. So similarly, we say we fast for Allah, and then This is the fast. So do not fast these physical fasts, but clear your heart. You get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have the reality of fast, nafal fast. That was more necessary. Fard, obviously, a person have to do. So clear your mind and heart in the evening, and the morning start with a new life. And then if something happens during that day, again clear it, like you clean your stomach every day. You eat, then you go to toilet, you cleanse. Similarly, there should be a system in the person's mind and heart that he clears the waste, and like the body retains the blood, the beneficial vitamins, and the waste is clear. So that's how a person, even actually who commits bad things, he can also be pious and righteous and successful, that he keeps on actually doing that. So that is the understanding, that is the reality of fasting of any day or anything. That a person is programming himself, like, look, today, let aside unlawful, out of question, lawful. Also I will need. And my life is for Allah. People say, why are you living? Yeah, my life is Allah, my life for Allah. Well, why don't you live for Allah? I mean, why don't you be good to people for Allah? Life and death is for Allah, then live for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well. So that is just empty talk, and the person knows himself as well. So Sayyidina Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu, he said this month has many virtues. It's a month of Allah. So this means when it's month of Allah, this means that you should be getting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala closeness and mentioning that Allah Azawajal center. Like when someone's birthday, you say, yeah, it's his day of birth, his birthday. It's attributed to him. So all the family thinks about him. This is month of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is free from creation, free from birth, free from death, anything. But it's attributed to Allah that one can get closeness to Allah Jalla Majduhu. Look, Sayyidina Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu reached climax of closeness to Allah in this month, and many, many other Anbiya and Auliyah in this month. Second thing he said, do not waste time. That is what we do as well. We have no program, no plan to actually how to spend time. Just wasting here and there. Wasting meaning actually, what does wasting time mean? You're doing something which is not beneficial in this dunya, nor beneficial in akhirah. Nor you are benefiting someone worldly or someone from akhirah point. That is called waste of time. Nor you are benefiting yourself in dunya or akhirah. But if you are doing something good even for dunya, that's not waste of time. With intention, that becomes worship. So much of the time we can actually, some people waste time in different ways. Some people just sitting there, some people just sleeping, some people watching useless TV programs, some people internet, some people just read uselessly stories, novels, and things. Some people watch novels and movies, and they don't realize our own self, we are in a movie, we are acting, there's a live film going on. What is more foolishness, that a film is being made of an actor, and then he starts watching another movie in the film. What will come of his movie? So the director will say that, well, you should be acting, I'm making your film, you have started watching another movie. And he said, no, I'm very much interested in this. I am enjoying, it will be a flop. He'll be sad. Similarly, what is happening to us, that Allah Azawajal is making our film through angels and everything, and we are watching films or sometimes lives of others. This is like watching film. What is the other person doing? What are the neighbors doing? What are the others doing? This is not our job. Like I said 1 month before, it is Allah's responsibility, it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's quality that He should look at our good deeds and worships. And we end up watching Hajj and forgetting even our own prayers. and own dhikr and watching. Similarly, it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has created people, testing people, and He watches people, how they live their life, so I'm going to hold them accountable. Not our job to, through movies and through dramas and or even live looking what how people are living. This is not our job. We have separate mission. That is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's task, that He is looking how people are living and He will He's testing them, and then He will hold them accountable. We have taken, these people are watching other people's life, stories, this is a story, very good story. That's not our job. We ourselves are part of a story. We are making our own story. We should show our good part, or you must say, good side, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as much as possible, rather than pondering over other stories. It is Allah's task to watch stories of others, how they are, their lives are documented, angels are documented, on the day of judgment will be played, and He will make judgment. And then if I go on the day of judgment and the story is that I've been watching other people's lives. Yes, one life Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, do watch and do see and do ponder, and that is the life of the Prophet ﷺ. And the lives which match him, which are those of Ahlul Bayt, of Sahaba, Rizwan Ajma'in, of Auliyah. They match his life. So that's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, yes, focus on that. Don't focus on others at all. दूसरों को देखो ही ना, तवज्जो ही ना करो. और ये जितने फिल्में, ड्रामे, मूवी, वो ये दूसरों की जिंदगियां दे, वो भी झूठी मूठी. And that's also false. These people do not live like that at all as well. So there are many ways people are wasting time. Some are building things, making actually plans of things which they will never use. They're buying things without actually any need. Houses have become full with things. They claim, oh, there's no place in the home. This is this. You know. But their years and years they're not giving this way to someone as well. So this is a disease, a mental illness. And even some doctors treat, some people have this disorder, shopping disorder they have. They just actually buy things without need and store things without need. This is mentally they are ill. Because if they had some common sense, why would they waste their money and store it without actually any reason as such? They will give to someone or use someone. So Sayyidina Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu, after the first thing, he said that do not waste time. So use your days and nights wisely in Allah's remembrance. Days and nights, not days only, not nights only. Days and nights wisely, meaning plan to be more, to have maximum production. Plan to do the important things than actually other things. To commemorate my life, if you want to remember me, if you are serious that you love me and you are serious about me, he said to commemorate my life is to sacrifice your time in sacrificing the desires, unlawful desires and lawful in the form of fasting as well. And spending your night in obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the sunnah of the Prophet al-Islam, so that your night becomes worship and your day becomes. So in other words, he is saying that to commemorate my life is so that you make your day a worship and your night a worship. Many lawful things you do in a way shown by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And on it, amongst them is fasting, worship, other things, I say, but they have a purpose as well. So he said that this is one of the best way to commemorate me. He said one should especially focus on the days of 9th and 11th Muharram. It's a very important 9th and 11th Muharram. And one should hold oneself accountable by fasting and worship. Worship during the night in prayer with every second you stand in the presence of Allah. Azawajal and His remembrance shall bring you shorter period for your in standing on the day of judgment under the scorching sun and heat and under the severe and harsh environment on the day of judgment. He said, the more you stand in salah, the less you will stand in pain and agony on the day of judgment. Because there were thousands and thousands here. Like Imam Ibn Kathir said that some people will be standing 10,000 a year doing, they won't be even asked who they are and what they've been doing. They're standing there in the heat, in the suffering. So, and those who, he said, stand in salah. So that's why he himself also showed practically that how I should be commemorated. That when the last night came, he said that give me one night more. They were to finish that day, but he said I asked for one more night. And they said, why you want to, for example, do something or actually spend with your family? He said, no, I know that I will never come back to this face of the earth, and I will never get back the opportunity to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the face of the earth as such in this life and to stand in front. So I want to maximize my time here actually in this night. That is why. So this night of 10th Muharram, he was spending with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and also asking others to spend in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his followers and his sahaba and his sons and his brothers and everyone. Worldly problem, they were suffering. They don't have enough to eat. They don't have enough to drink. Imam Zain al-Abidin is ill. That's why I say to people, don't worry about illnesses. This is a blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If it comes, be patient and do dua to Allah and seek cure. But there's nothing to be upset. This is benefit in there. If this was something bad, no prophet would have become ill ever. No wali would have become ill. Rather, the reality is the majority of them passed away in illnesses or in martyrdoms physically. Or they were either shaheed or they passed in way of illness. Because there are countless reasons and blessings behind actually, which one cannot imagine. But yes, that doesn't mean a person should ask for illness. That doesn't mean a person should not seek cure for illness. That shouldn't take medicine, shouldn't do dua. What that means is that don't make it a lifelong worry. Oh, I have cancer, I have this and that. Cancer never kills someone. It's the angel of death actually who takes the soul. No disease kills them. They are disease themselves. They are under the command of Allah themselves. They are the creation of that. They are sent for a purpose. Sometime actually to sometimes to forgive sins, sometimes to raise status. They have this. And everyone knows Imam Zain al-Abidin radiallahu anhu did not participate for the reason he could do healing on him. He himself was Ahlul Bayt. So that's why people ask me sometimes, say that you train others people for healing and things. What about yourself? Yeah, I say I follow the way of Anbiya and the Sahaba Ikram. We'll just use the norms with every pain, with every pang of hunger. It shall be reward of my sacrifice the day I departed from this world. The greatest sacrifice which you can make is more dearer than any life. He said the greatest sacrifice you can make is more dear than any life. He said, I have given my life, but even dearer than that is the sacrifice of one's heart for the pleasure of Allah. The heart, what the heart doesn't mean an empty heart for the pleasure of Allah, meaning the all whatever is in the heart to sacrifice for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Leave your desires. For every desire, unlawful desire which you leave is the sword which cuts you from the arms of shaitan. He said it is, every desire is like the arm of shaitan through which he is holding you. And when you cut the evil desire, it's as though you cut off the hand of shaitan, the arm of shaitan. Now he has less leverage, less power over you. So he said this is the greatest sacrifice. With every good deed, actions, and the following of the heart of the Prophet ﷺ, it is the light which connects you to the heart of the beloved ﷺ. So he said, so every sin, every desire you cut, it is the arm of shaitan which is cut. And he said, every sunnah, every good deed which you adopt, this reconnects you with the Prophet ﷺ straightforwardly. Because that is where the original it came from. If you continue and maintain this light of connection, one day the arms of Rasulullah ﷺ will reach you and take you to the hereafter. The example is Sayyidina Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu. Because when he passed away, when Imam Hussain passed away, the spirit, the ruh, and the angels came, but the Prophet ﷺ's spirit came as well to take them, to receive them, to welcome them in Akhirah. For some people, good people, the angels come. For some people, Auliyah, arwah of Auliyah and Anbiya. So he said that Sayyidina Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu passed away and Rasulullah received him. He, Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu, passed away. He said, it can happen to you as well. If you during the lifetime you are connected to him, to his heart through the sunnah, you will. And then he mentioned the amal. It is part of the amals which you have been given. That is just a very small part of his guidance. So he said, oh my child, pray 2 rakat salatul tawbah, not for just sins and things like normal. There's no, actually this separate, every salah is separate. People just have given names and they think, no, they're separate. This salatul tawbah is completely separate. He said, this is for begging Allah forgiveness of the past ways of not sacrificing one desire and accumulating love of dunya. Instead of sacrificing desire, one who has sacrificed the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he said, this Salatul Tawbah is not generally from sin, but this is for that thing that instead of sacrificing evil desire, you've been sacrificing the command of Allah. You have been sacrificing Rasulullah sunnah, meaning abandoning that. From this, ask forgiveness. Praying through Salatul Shukr, not actually for just Allah has given you to eat and drink. You do Shukr normally as well, one should do. But this is special Salatul Shukr. Thanking Allah Azawajal that He has given you opportunity to turn to Him in righteousness and shown you the path of righteousness. Showing you the true example of sacrifice in the lives of, like Sayyidina Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu and the company. This thing. We only think thank you when we have money in our pocket, we have food. Well, this is one of the greatest, because once you will do that, you will get more guidance. And Salatul Istikhara, not for shall I marry this woman or not, shall I do this business, we have. But this, so that you can always make a decision, because you're always making a decision. And every decision, he said, every decision you make, either it can connect you with Allah or cut you away from Allah. So in this Salatul Istikhara, you ask, Ya Allah, enable me to make those decisions through the day and night, that every move, everything I think, and every decision I make connects me with you and your remembrance, and cuts me away from actually the shaitan. And Salatul Haja, we ask money, car, and things. Oh, okay, that's good and well. But this is not this part of this amal. He said, do the 2 rakat salah and beg Allah to always keep the connection with Allah's light. Beg Allah to enable you to die in sacrificing your heart and soul for the remembrance of Allah. Jalla Majduhu, the light. So this It's like, do your haja is, Ya Allah, you are saying, Ya Allah, give me shahada, enable me to sacrifice everything for you. This is also something to ask. So this is what actually these 8 nawafils are about. They are not normal nawafils, they are not normal salatul haja. This is special, actually, feature and special things you do. Then you get the benefit. And then after the munajat, which actually as written, you can read for yourself, that you do 10 minutes. Munajat means communion, meaning you are direct communicating, not with even the tongue, but the heart connects with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's called munajat. Heart is in the presence, and plus it is talking to Allah Jalla Maituhu. He said, reflect upon your life and think all of the sacrifices you could have made. Think about from your 12, 14 years, what you could have done for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that time is never coming back. And those opportunities have been lost. Never you are going to come back. It's gone forever and ever and ever. Think about what you could have done for sacrificing for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you did not. And how long it has taken to you to return to Allah. How long it has taken you to listen to His command. What will you give in return for failing to listen earlier to Allah's command? What will think about? What should you do now? How can you compensate? Or you are still worrying about your house and things. They are leaving you day by day. You are 30, 40, day by day, everything is leaving you. So as the time passes, the heart should actually also be detached with dunya. As dunya is leaving you, say, okay, dunya, you are going day by day away from me. I am also going day by day. But we are doing the opposite. The dunya is preparing to push us. We are clinging to its feet. When dunya pushes you one day, you also push it away one day. Meaning detachment, actually. Meaning whatever you attach with akhirah, something forward, more forward, where you are going next. Okay, you have lived, you worked, you married, you got, now there is something else coming. Now look forward to that and make your attachment to that and think about going from here with clarity. With clarity. Imagine yourself sacrificing your limbs, your hearts and soul. So imagine, meaning this is like you are reprogramming your mind. Oh Allah, I am willing to and sacrifice my limbs, can be cut away for your pleasure, my heart. Imagine you are every limb, every flesh of body wanting to be with Allah. You see, this munajat is the essence of dua, like munajat is the essence of, now people, we do not understand, oh, why Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu saying, imagine this, imagine this. This is same thing which we taught and discussed in the 5th point of dua, that you actually, firstly, to do in physical world, you need to program your mind, you need to present to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's what I want. That's what I want. Instead of sacrificing, actually, physically, firstly, you should sacrifice mentally and presenting to Allah. Imagine, yes, I am doing that for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Say, Ya Allah. This is called wish. Like the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever will not wish in his life for shahada, it is likely, meaning he will die as on one of the parts of nifaq. That the Muslim wish should be that actually I die for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the way of Allah. What can be more pleasurable? What can be more honorable? So this wish, meaning, what does wish mean? Wish means you think in yourself, oh, I wish I have this, I wish I have this. So that's what, so basically the reasoning behind replaying it in your mind, it makes you easy. It's easy for you. When time will come, it will make it easy. You are thinking, you are visualizing. So he said, imagine yourself. This is not a small thing. Even Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when you pray, when Jibreel alayhi salam asked how one can pray at the highest level, he said, just imagine you are in the presence of Allah, or you are looking towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is very powerful thing. Firstly, you do that, and then the action become easier. This is dua, this is munajat, this is dua, this is the essence. And you will find Auliyah Allah, they say this. Every limb, every flesh, every drop of wanting to be with Allah, as the light starts to shower from the blessed name of Allah, with every light of rain which descends upon you, imagine your body is being washed away and rejoined in goodness and returning to Allah. So all this is imagination. Once you do that and ask Allah to make it reality, then this is more acceptable. And then he taught those azkars, the Durood Sharif, the Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, and all these actually things. Furthermore, he said, "Oh my son, do not mourn and grieve for me in this month like some of the Shia have done. They have made me the symbol of pain. Their tears and bloodsheds of their bodies, whipping off their backs and chest, does not bring them any closer to me, but furthers them and causes me pain." Now why they are doing this? This does not bring them closer. They are whipping their bodies. My message is that you are whipping and striping your limbs. Why? What have they done to you? So my message is that you should whip and strike the limbs of disobedience, is the heart which displeases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the beloved sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said that if you want to whip and beat shaitan and nafs and your bad habits, not the innocent body. He said, my message, if you want to whip and strike the disobedience, the bad habits and the sins. Strike the evil desires, strike the passion of the nafs, strike the shaitan. He said that you will get closer to that. You know, just whipping yourself will not make you. You are mourning, you have love, you have good intention, but that doesn't take you closer. But what Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu wants is that actually that you participate with him in his mission. So whip and strike the nafs and desire to follow Allah. This process is not just for one day, but until death. It is surely the purification of the heart which truly pleases us. So this is some of the teachings of Sayyidina Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu, because every day he was in Karbala, during the day, and evening he would give some guidance, nasiha, some very, very precious nasiha and guidance for people. His dawah was not for only his own companions, they were there already. He would even address the other army of Yazid to come back to the path of righteousness. They knew it is truth, but they chose to actually, like we are sometimes affected by greed and other things and ego and things. They didn't. Some did as well. Some did actually come and listen, but very few. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to commemorate and remember him, not actually in this month, only this month like he wants us to remember, but actually carry on with his mission, continues until that. He's not a personality of 1 month. And what normally people do, that's why I feel one of the sheikh from Morocco, he said, when are you having the celebrating or commemorating this actually? He said, I do every day and every week. I remember Imam Hussain. I'm doing his mission. I am actually carrying on with his mission. I'm living his mission. And you come after 1 year, 10 days, and then after 355 days, shaitan is whipping you. And only in 10 days you remember Imam Hussain. What type of commemoration is this? So this is the pass the message on to others, so that other people can benefit, yourself can benefit, and then inshallah one can hope to be under the flag, under the company, under the shade of Sayyidina Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu on the Day of Judgment. because his mission is still there. The deen which he sacrificed still needs you. It needs sacrificing today as well. It needs actually the contribution, however he actually did. So that deen is still in need, and his mission still stays there. The Karbala is still here. Jazakumullah khairan jazaa. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. हाँ कोई बात पूछनी है तो पूछ ले, इंशाल्लाह समझ नहीं आई तो। वालेकुम अस्सलाम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू। Yes, please. Yes, actually, the wish for Shahada means that whenever I die, I want to die in the way of Allah Jalla Majduhu. I want to give my life for Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala in jihad, obviously, in a lawful manner, where jihad is jihad, not actually joining any terrorist organization or anything. They are not there doing jihad, they are just actually like doing fasad, actually. But meaning the wish is that when there's a real opportunity, or whenever death comes, I don't want to just die doing any bad thing. I don't want to die just actually attaining dunya. I just don't want to die just walking idly. I want to die doing something good in the way of Allah Jalla Majduhu. So uska to ye matlab hai. Secondly, actually in those days as well, when they would fight, when the war starts, when the war was there was ambassadors going here and there, they were talking, there were conversations were going on, and plus when it was silence at the night, mostly during the day, and many of them, when Sayyidina Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu would pray, many of the army actually would pray behind him. They were praying themselves as well there. They had Imam, but they knew from their hearts that there is no personality like Imam Hussain on the face of the earth now. So they would pray, they would come and pray behind him. So that was when war started. Then actually the violence actually began. Before that, it was not that they were fighting every day. Only actually, like he asked them, for example, that give me one night more to stay. That's the case. جزاك الله سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت